Namaskaram everyone. Really blessed that all of you have joined in for this short notice live session. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. So today, will not be directly going into the Q&A session, but I'll just give you a premise. During the last conversation, we discussed that possibly I will try to address all the questions that many seekers had, and then we did the live session, and after that I did sadhana for a certain period of time, and then Mahashivratri came, and just like Sadhguru says that. Let not what you planned happen, but the most wonderful thing that you have not planned should happen. And for the last couple of days, till yesterday, I was in the Shunya intensive volunteering, and then I just arrived today. And crazy thing about this is we have just arrived to the 1 year anniversary of the Linga Bhairavi temple consecration in Kathmandu Valley. So congratulations to everyone, all the humanity, all the beings, because Devi is the mother of all. It's not only for the meditators, but for everyone. The Devi was actually consecrated on the 8th of March, but you might be wondering why the anniversary is being conducted on upcoming Saturday, that is the 24th of March. It's because of the lunar calendar. Many of you are already aware of there's a lunar calendar, which is also known as the Bikram Sambat calendar, which is the lunar calendar, and with the Tithi, that is when it will fall. Today's this is a very rare moment. What the session that we are going to conduct at the moment is basically very exclusive, and it is not only me. There have been many people who traveled with me, and then certain events actually started unfolding before they be consecrated in Nepal itself. I'm I don't know what should I refer myself. I'm naturally a meditator, and then but somewhere the Devi invaded my life just like everybody else, and there are a lot of things to share, but I'll just go into the premise of this today's call. So just like I mentioned earlier, that the main reason I'm conducting this video session, like a Q&A or this sharing kind of event experience session. This is very exclusive and very profound. It is going to may throw some of you off the chair also. Are these kind of things available and everything? So there are many things that I will share, and there are many things that involves other people. Because of that reason, I'll obviously I'm not going to share, because if some of you are involved in that with your personal details or something, it is not right to share in this kind of platform. We'll try to share as much as possible and something. So let's begin with the grace of the Sadhguru himself and Devi Linga Bhairavi. We're all here today. So this is something I've not shared with many people and everything. So yeah. So some tidbits and bits, a few things has been shared during that time, and a longer period of time. Many of the people know many part of it. So meditator who actually traveled with me, they know whole lot of it, but we'll be disclosing a lot of stuff because it's her anniversary. So it would be the great time that we'll make the most use of it. So just after the sexual event that culminated after Sadhguru's ride across from Europe through Asia, and then finally in India, after that, we realized that, there is a need of, just like Sadhguru says, that a conscious planet. And conscious planet basically means if you need to be conscious, either you have to strive to enhance your awareness, or you need external energy source where the consecrations and consecrated spaces comes into the play. And that is where me and like a few of the meditators, we actually, dived in and then started traveling to all these crazy kind of places. Again, like it is not about that, but with that, what actually happened is like we obviously had to map the Kathmandu Valley also, and then we went to many temples, and with that certain kind of revelations started. And that is where we actually started with something known as the it is something actually known as the Matrikas. Many people like who are from belong from the Nepal Mandal. It was actually called as a Nepal Mandal, like whatever we know as the Kathmandu Valley now is not actually known as the Kathmandu in the past. It was known as the Nepal Mandal. It's still like we do not actually know the entire history about the valley, which has got so much diverse energy sources and everything. I would say like the most diverse energy spaces in the entire world. Like you cannot even find that kind of places in India also. So coming back to the Ashtamatrika, so I'll go a little bit into the premise of this. So everybody knows about the war between the Raktavija and then the Durga. So when Durga had to go and battle with the Raktavija and Mahishasura, Shiva and then like all the deities, like they all gods, and they all gave all their energies and powers to the Durga, and now like she had all the weapons and everything. So many of you may or may not know the name of why Devi is also known as the Sivaduti as well as the Kameshwari also. Because Devi is the only one in the entire existence which is known to, bring the Shiva out from his prolonged meditation, samadhis and everything, so that he can be active in the world. That is first thing. That is the reason why the one who can actually entice even the Shiva from the utmost slumber of meditation. So that is why she is also known as the Kameshwari. And at the same time, she's also known as the Sivaduti. I think many of you who have been chanting about Devi, and this is about Devi, this is not about Shiva today. It's all about Mother only, the divine goddess. So she's known as the Sivaduti because like when Durga was ready to fight and everything, what she says is, she asks Lord Shiva, okay, nobody can actually order Shiva to do anything, because whenever the gods and even everybody, even the demons and everyone is in trouble, they go to Lord Shiva as the final solution. But this is where like, even the Devi herself asks Shiva to go and tell the Mahishasura and Raktavija to come and then, have a fight with her. Or like something like that. So she actually sends him as a Shiva, as a messenger. So Shiva Duti basically means Shiva, means of course we know Shiva. And Duti basically means the messenger. So the one who actually can send the Shiva also as a messenger. Because in many stories, Shiva as well as the Lord Vishnu actually sends the Narada Muni as the messenger. But in this case, Shiva himself sends, the Devi actually sends the Shiva as the messenger. So why I'm telling you all this is because everything is connected here. I'm just like trying to tell you the story because we don't want it to be like because it's about the mother, okay? So she is very exuberant and dynamic and everything. We don't want to go into too much, hermit kind of, spiritual kind of stuff. So basically what actually happened is, since Raktavija and then Mahishasura has got hordes and hordes of army, so for her also like she needs an army. So because of that reason, like she manifests different forms from her. Okay, and this is now where the term called like Ashtamatrika comes into the play. If you know about the Ashtamatrika basically means the 8 mothers. Okay, And these 8 mothers is very much popular in the northern part of the Indian subcontinent, where the Nepal as well as the East Bengal, Assam, and everything comes into play. This area where this Devi, divine feminine culture evolved. And similarly, like if you go south, like in the Tamil Nadu and South India, like you will find the Sapta Matrika, they will have like only the 7 mothers. So from this, what actually happened is like the Shiva, he pulled out his feminine energy, and from him, the energy became Mahesh. Such as like a Brahmani from the Brahma, similarly Indra from Indrayani, Bhairavi. I think like many of you already knows about. We had like Indrayani also from the Indra, and from the 8 different gods, like 8 different kind of goddesses, their feminine energy evolved. And somewhere like while we were doing this research, like till now, like we had no connections between Linga Bhairavi consecration and then these Devis actually, because at that time like we were just thinking about like how, for example, like Sadhguru always speaks about Kathmandu Valley has been created like an yantra, okay, in the tantric body and something like that. So we're very, very interested. So we actually had, actually created the yantra body. So I'll show you, like many of you, like we have been to Nepal for the Devi consecration and everything, like you might have been to some of the temple. So if you go to my Instagram page, like in the stories section below my profile, you'll find Devi revelations where you can find. So in my iPad, like I'm showing you this, like you guys can see. So this is actually the 8 divine mothers. Like these are the 8 different temples. Okay, these are the 8 female deity temples, divine feminine temples, like that are actually, like I told you, this actually surrounds the ancient like a Kathmandu Valley, and then these actually form the yantra over there. It's in the form of, as you can see, it's in the form of the sword. Okay, so at the time, even before the consecration of the Devi, like we all went to all these temples. Like a few of them actually falls inside the the restricted area where they only the army had the access to it, so we couldn't go through that. So similar to that one, like we went through this one. Now like how it is connected is because these are the same deities. Like we were actually went with Durga to have a battle with the Mahishasura and then the Raktabija, and then like as you know the end result, like they actually decimated the entire hordes and hordes of Asura's army, and then that's how the story goes. Like I'll not go much more deeper into that one. And similar kind of like temples can also be found, like if you go to the Rameshwaram, in front of the Devi temple, like a Devi shrine, like in the Rameshwaram temple in Dhanuskodi, like if you come, like there is a Sukravara Mandapam where you can actually find the statues of these Devis as well as the Ashta Lakshmi statues are also there, and like it's crazy powerful. You cannot believe it. Like that is one of the very, very rarest places. And these Ashtamatrika temples can also be found on the top of the Unmatta Bhairava temple, like on the top of Unmatta Bhairava temple, which is next to the Pashupatinath temple. Okay, so this is the premise of that one. Now, like why I was actually referring to this map and everything, because all these things is because like this is actually connected with the Linga Bhairavi. Okay, so we don't know like how it was. So till now, like before we knew, like it happened like this, and me and like some of the meditators were doing the lot of yatra and everything. And someone like after that, what actually happened after that was, Sadhguru announced that like he's going to consecrate the Linga Bhairavi Devi temple in Nepal. We didn't knew about that one till that time. Like we were just like doing yatras, and going through yatras and then like finding out like where the live temples are across the valley, like reaching out to the most popular one first of all, and then like we went to the smaller shrines and different kind of temple samadhis and all these kind of places. And if you do not know, like one of the very powerful Shaktipita is also in like Kathmandu Valley. Like we'll look into that one. It's quite actually crazy. Okay, so so what actually happened is like as we went through the yatra or something like that, then like one big revelation actually came. Okay, so I'm going to show you like this is one thing, because I come from like an engineering background, like so in the engineering and mathematics and everything, we have to work with certain kind of geometry. I think like everybody knows about that. Sadhguru also he speaks about a lot about the geometries, and if you guys know like what is the geometry of a Devi, I think like everybody knows about it. It's basically a triangle. Okay, so if you look into this like one geometric pattern, like if you see like this is spot on the top is basically the where the Linga Bhairavi was supposed to be consecrated. This happened like just a month before the consecration. This is the location of the Linga Bhairavi where it is, and the sea is basically the Dakshin Kali temple. This is very, very powerful and most popular, one of the popular temple in Kathmandu Valley. This is where like a Sadhguru has also visited actually. Okay. And there's another Mahakali temple in Bhaktapur. Sadhguru has also spoke a whole lot about like that temple. And this is where the Taleju Bhavani is also there, like a very, very powerful deity, like which is the tutelary deity of the Kathmandu Valley, and where like a Sadhguru has also went to have a darshan. So when we connected, and like I think like you guys know about the triangles, like the triangles can be, I think like if it create like a inverted feminine like a fire triangle, it is basically like the Shakti triangle. Okay, and it usually comes in the form of like the equilateral triangle, but in the case of like our revelation, like we found like a lot of isosceles triangles. Okay, isosceles triangle basically means like the two sides of the triangle actually are very, very similar length. Okay, for example, in this case, like this line and this line, if you divide by that, we actually get what? I think like you guys can see it here. So it's basically a Devi's number. Okay, so this was the revelation actually came to us, like one thing. Okay, so after that, like what actually happened is like when I realized this, and then I try to find out like where this is actually the pattern. Okay, what is the pattern, what it is going on and everything, what is all this going on. Okay, so but before that, like there are like the parallel energy research was also going on. Okay, the another parallel research was basically like if you know, like I told you about this Brahmayani temple, and then like this like Ashtamatrika temple that formed as a sword. Okay, like this was a sword. I'll reveal a little bit. Like the red one is the sword pattern that was actually the Devi temple. And the Kathmandu Valley, like if you know, like the Kathmandu Valley's history is actually associated. The oldest story what we is associated with is with the Swayambhu temple. I think like many of you who have been to Nepal, like it is very, very popular with it is a Buddhist pilgrimage site, as well as it is also known as the monkey temple. Okay, by the foreigners. And if you go over there, like you can find Swayambhu, like the Buddhist stupa and everything, but it is actually associated with something what we actually referred as the Newar Vajrayana Buddhism. Okay, so there are like you may not know, like Buddhism is not like a unidirectional kind of the spiritual path. There are like many diversification are there. So starting with the Theravada and everything, we're not interested with that one in this context. We're interested with something that has to do with the Devi. So in the Kathmandu Valley, like you can find like two different flavors of like Vajrayana Buddhism. Like if you guys know about the Vajrayana Buddhism, it's the tantric version of the Buddhism, like very similar with the Indian mysticism and everything. So the tantric Buddhism that comes from the from like Tibet is actually like it has to do with a very sattvic kind of tantra. Okay, but the another one like which actually evolved over time in the Kathmandu Valley And most of the temple, the powerful temples that you saw, and then the Ashtamatrika map which I showed you just before, they all actually falls under the category of the Newar Buddhism, which has got a lot of influence of the Shaktism from the Assam as well as the West Bengal area. Okay, so these has got like a lot of influence on that one. So why I was talking about this Swayambhu is like I'll like keep these things as short as possible so that we can go even further. So in the Swayambhunath, like the story goes like that, like there was a bodhisattva, like a realized being called like Manjunath, who actually opened up the river and then opened up the lake, and then where the Kathmandu Valley is there, like it became fertile because it was actually a lake initially. Okay, so the enlightened being called Manjushri, he actually opened the the opening, created the opening for the lake, and that's where like we can actually see the valley. Okay, now the valley that we exist. But it is said that like when yogi, another yogi who came from India, like he was known as a Santikar Acharya. So when he came, like he got the revelation from he actually got the revelation from like a Manjushri, and then told him that like in the future, like people will be very much corrupted. So you have to do something to protect this Swayambhu. Okay, we do not know like what it is or something like that. It should be like a certain kind of yantra, but most of the people actually what they actually say is it was like some kind of lotus kind of thing that actually manifested by itself. So what he did was like Santikar Acharya, what he did was he actually locked the entire area, that place, with like a different kind of energy. And there are like you can find like the Basupur, which is represents the earth material. There's a Akaspur, which is the sky element, and there's like a Nagpur with a snake and so on. Like there are 4 or 5 energy lock he did around that Swayambhu. And then like a Swayambhu, if you just Google it, you can find the Swayambhunath. Whatever the Swayambhunath stupa which you are seeing at the moment is not actually the original Swayambhu. There are like a 4 or 5 layers actually. Okay, 4 or 5 layers of Swayambhu on the top of that one, like the one top of another. And what it is said is like the Santikar Acharya actually, the Santikar Acharya, what he did was like he locked the entire place with the energy so that like nobody can actually come and like misuse the power or like destroy or like do certain things with like the whatever we may call it as a yantra, but in that context like it is actually known as certain kind of lotus or something. So basically like he just entered to the Akaspur, that which he created actually. Okay, he created that Akaspur, one of the energy lock center, and he went inside, and there's a story that like there are 7 layers of it. We'll not go too much deeper into that one. And it is said that like he went inside and then he did the he's still in a samadhi over there. Okay, nearly 200-300 years ago, something like that. So because of that reason, and then like he was a tantric guy and everything. That was one of the story we heard and everything. And this place is very, very, very powerful. If you ever come to Nepal, you should go to this place. You can go inside, but if you are receptive enough, like you can experience everything over there. Many of the Isha meditators have actually gone there also. Now, like why I'm telling you all this is like but there are certain kind of mystery about this like a place of Santipur, because one thing is like they say like there are 7 layers, and what they also say is like as you enter one door after another, you can actually go to different realms. Okay, different realms and everything. Like currently, like only the main priest, which is known as the Vajracharya from the Newar Buddhism, like he can actually enter to the after the second gate. Okay, second door, but other people can actually enter up to the first door, inside the first door. That also only during the full moon night. Okay, otherwise like it is locked all the time. Okay, because like the energy, they may say that like it may not be conducive for everyone. Okay, or they want to preserve it, and there are a lot of things like that we still do not know. Now, what they actually said was like they added like one story. Okay, like why this guy actually went inside that one. Okay, why this guy actually, Santikar Acharya, actually went inside that one and he never came out. Okay, and there are like a lot of crazy stories here. Okay, so after that, like we actually went through, after that, like we heard, like everybody knows about the, Guhyeshwari Shaktipeeth, which is next to the, nearly like I would say, 300 meters next to the Pashupatinath temple, and she's very, very powerful. Okay, everybody knows about that, and it is considered as one of the 18 Shakti Pithas, main Shakti Pithas. So, but like later on, like as we started doing research, like we also found the another one actually, okay, which is actually the Purana Guhyeshwari. Okay, they say that like this was actually the original Guhyeshwari. Okay, now which basically means that there are now like two Guhyeshwaris. One is the main Guhyeshwari, which is next to the Pashupatinath temple, since it is belongs to the premise or the Kshetra, Pashupati Kshetra areas. Because of that reason, like she got like a lot of like let's say lot of interest, and like a lot of tourists can actually visit there. Okay, a lot of pilgrimage can visit very easily, but many people do not actually know about the old Guhyeshwari. Now the crazy thing about this is like why Purana Guhyeshwari is like a very, very interesting is, one thing is it is associated with the Shakti Pitha, same name, and the local Newari people, they say that like old Guhyeshwari is actually the original Guhyeshwari. Okay, but we do not know, like both of them are very, very powerful. So you can actually make use of both of them. Now the interesting thing about the Purana Guhyeshwari is there is a story that when the Manjushri, the enlightened being, like he actually opened the water from the lake of the Kathmandu valley to leave outside from the Chovar. There is also like the Jal Vinayak temple is there, like which has got the tantra involved. Okay, very, very rare kind of the Ganesha temple like in the entire world. Okay, so this is very, very powerful place also. I visited that. So one of the water majority of the water actually escaped from the Chovar next to the Jal Vinayak temple, but some part of the water, it is said that actually went through the old Guhyeshwari temple. Okay, Guha basically means it's the cave, okay, or the opening, or it also considers with the Kali temple. Guhyeshwari is associated with the Kali, and Guhyeshwari basically means the secret. Okay, secret cave or like opening. These are all like a very synonymous word. And the interesting thing about it is like what they said is like when a pujari, they offer like a certain kind of egg to the deity. So what they said is like if they put the egg to that opening, like it just goes deep. Okay, we do not know like where it goes. Okay, I've not tried it, but like that is the saying what they say. It's very powerful place, and it is said that like when the water escaped, like when the Manjushri did that act, many water actually went through these wells. Okay, now coming back, like after that, like what actually happened is like there is one meditator. I will not tell his name. So there is like one meditator like who is currently in the ashram, like he knows about it, he does may or may not know. I was asking him about like a certain other leads also. Okay, there are a lot of leads, like I was looking for like how many energy spaces we can find or something. Like we are not actually particularly looking towards the Linga Bhairavi temple per se in this case. So one of the Anna actually told me that like you have to go to this kind of certain kind of place, like which is in the middle of the city. Okay, and you have to go there, like there are some kind of like a blue Buddha kind of Akshobhya. He's actually known as the Akshobhya. So you have to go there, and then like this is a very powerful this place. So what actually happened is like we went over there, and then like somehow we end up like it was already getting dark. Some of the meditators actually went to the Akash Bhairav temple, and then they just got lost over there because it has got a lot of power, and then they forgot that like we're going through energy mapping task. Okay, so I cannot actually have the privilege to sit down in one place and forget about what I have to do. So we went to that place, and then we actually found out a place called like a Dolma. Okay, so Tara Dolma temple. Okay, Tara, I think like many of you can relate with that name. So Tara is a deity, like a female deity, another form of the Shakti, which is actually used in the Tibetan Buddhism, in the Shaktism, Tantra, in Kamakhya, very popular like all across like India, and as well as like it's used in the Newar Buddhism also. Okay, and if you have ever went to the Kailash, like after in the Kailash Parikrama, you will reach a place known as the Dolma Pass. Okay, Dolma Pass is basically like if you reach to the Dolma Pass, Dolma basically means the Tara, and then Tara is basically synonymous with is another form of the Mata Parvati. Okay, so if you go to the top of the Dolma Pass, you can actually see the Gauri Kund also. I'm just like relating the story. So why I'm telling you about this like a Dolma, Tara Dolma temple is because like why I'm telling you this is because when we went over there, like there are like actually 3 different taras with different colors. Okay, there are actually in Tibetan Buddhism as well as in Nepal Buddhism, there are like 108 different taras. Okay, and among them, like 21 of them are like used for main meditation and sadhana and everything. And now like there are whole lot of stories, which I'll come into that one. So basically like we went to that temple, and then we saw like these 3 Tara Devi temple sitting over there, and then the priest was there, and then we're just like having darshan and everything. And then like somehow like somehow the priest actually revealed the information that we are actually looking for. Okay, so what actually happened was like we were like a little bit thinking about like this Santikar Acharya and what was actually happened in the Swambhunath and everything, because they say like there are like 7 doors and you can actually go to different realms and everything. Some takes to like underground, some takes to somewhere, some takes to the land of the Nagas and everything. There are a lot of things involved with that one. Okay, so we're sitting over there, and then like one lady came, like Akka came, and then like she's not a meditator, of course, like she came, like a local person who was just coming to have a darshan of her, like the Tara. We're just like sitting over there, and like starting after that, like they started revealing the information of the Santikar Acharya. Okay, so what it is said is like, I'll not go there. This is like a very, very explicit kind of things, like many of you may not be. I think like everybody is like fine enough to hold this, so like I'll reveal this one. So what actually happened was, so Santikara Acharya was a tantric, okay, and he used to worship a Maheshwari, which is also known as the there's a Maipi Ajima temple which actually is on the top of that sword. Okay, the sword like what I showed you earlier. Let me show you. Okay, so in this map, like if you see, this is the Ashtamatrika map. So this is actually the Maipi Ajima. Okay, this is the Maipi Ajima. Ajima basically means the grandmother goddess in Newari language. So this is the energy of the Shiva. Okay, Maheshwari. Okay, so feminine energy of the Lord Shiva, Maheshwar and then Maheshwari. Okay, so I think like everybody can relate. So what they revealed was like he was a devotee of the Lord Maheshwari, goddess Maheshwari, and then what actually happened was like it is said that for certain reasons and everything, like they say, we do not know. Okay, inside the Swambhunath, like what the priest revealed was like you can actually go inside that. He used to go inside the that like the Akash temple, Akashpur, and then like he used to worship, and then and he had like a certain kind of tantric abilities to give whatever the the deity was asking for it. Okay, he used to offer certain things, as you know that in the tantra and everything you have to offer certain kind of things. So he used to be like that all the time, and there was a condition that like he had to go alone, and then the moment like he starts the process, he should not be looking behind. Okay, for example, like I'm going like this to the temple, I should not be looking behind. Okay, so he has to go like that. But it is actually said that like he didn't knew that he just went to the temple, and then the deity actually said that I want something, I want to ask something from you. The deity asked him. Okay, and then the Santikara Acharya said, okay, I'm ready to offer anything, like I'm your you can say like a dasa, okay, not the slave, but like you can relate. So I'm I'm your servant, like I can offer anything what you desire. So he said that like the deity said that like you have to look behind, and then like whoever is behind, you have to offer that to me. Okay, and what actually happened is like it's a very painful kind of thing and everything. Again, like this is a story, like you can take it literally, you can take it as a some kind of myth. It's up to you to take it. Okay. This is a Devi kind of thing, so like we are going off the rocker and everything, like so basically like what actually happened is like okay, he said like he agreed. Okay, he done the deal, and the deity said like you cannot change your mind, and he said like okay, I'm ready to offer anything. So when he turned back, and then like he saw, okay, now like I see like there's 111 people. Okay, it went down to 109. So basically like what actually happened was, when he turned around, like he saw that it was his son. Okay, so his son has unconsciously actually followed to him. So he was now caught up. Okay, because he has to offer his only son to the deity. Okay, So he said that like, okay, like it is your choice. Like he, with like all the pain and anguish within himself, although he was a yogi, tantric, like he offered his son, and then it is said like after offering the son, because like his son is no more anymore, so he got, you know, gone into the tragedy. Okay, so it is said that like after that, like he went inside that Santipur temple, and then he was in the samadhi. Okay, so there are two things associated with this. Okay, I do not know like how good storyteller am I. This is actually what happened in front of me and like many other meditators. Okay, especially like there was another meditator. So okay, some people have said like believe in mystical aspect, but that is not belief, but like it's a reality. Okay, so like why I was telling you this is because we are actually sitting in front of the Tara temple, and many of you, like if you are related with like a Vajrayana Buddhism and everything, like we know that like you know, there is something known as the talking Tara is also there. Okay, so talking Tara is a goddess, like a form of a Tara, which can actually reveal you like what you are looking for. Okay, although like I was not like looking forward to that information, but somehow like we are actually like looking forward to that one. Now like why it is connected was because till that period, now we have actually visited all these surrounding deities. A few of them, just like I said, like because of the access issues, will not be able to go inside. So now like the only temple left was the Maipiyajima. Okay, so we went to that temple finally, like we various of our meditators, we went over there, we had a darshan, and we couldn't actually find the older people like who was staying over there. And the one of the beauty of like Kathmandu Valley is like a certain society actually take care of a particular temple. Okay, so at that time like a particular family was over there, like who was actually taking care of the temple, and like we were curious like what was going on and everything. So later like what they actually revealed. What they actually revealed was this is quite interesting. Okay, so what they revealed was like Santikara Acharya actually used to stay there, and then what he did was like you know, after his son, like he offered his son, and what he said was like what they said was like the Devi herself does not actually need any sacrifices. Okay, she does not actually need any sacrifices. It's the ganas. For example, like the Shiva has got his ganas. Similar to that one, like a Devi actually has got a lot of ferocious, different kind of, you know, the beings and everything. Okay, I'll not go into too much deeper or something, but they actually need like this kind of energies and everything to sustain like, you know, that company, because like they are, you know, part of her, and then even me and even that child, even all the animals that is offered to her. Of course, like a Sakti is everywhere, and whatever we're talking, like everything is Sakti only. There's no other thing other than her. Like you can say like, as a lila, it's a reality, like it's a it's all over the place. Okay, but anyways, so what they revealed was like you know, after Santikara Acharya like was heartbroken and he was in tragedy, he came over there and he actually, you know, buried his son in a particular place in that hill where the Maipiyajima temple is there. So and after that like he went to that Santipur place, and then like he went inside in the samadhi. Okay, now why I'm telling you this is because this place where the child is actually buried, okay, this where this child is actually buried, this is the only place, it is said that it is the only place from where when a deity, let's say like a deity like in like for example like in like Kathmandu Valley and everything, for example like you know, like Sadhguru talks about like a different kind of considerations. Okay, so these are like different places evolved differently. Like it was not like now that you can just like Google it, ChatGPT or internet or something, you can find a lot of information. So at that time like you know, this northern part of India and Nepal and then like West Bengal and Assam, they evolved completely differently. People in the southern part of the India, like they evolved differently. The western part of the India evolved differently. For example, like you know, the Uttarakhand and this kind of area, they evolved completely differently, spiritually, in terms of mysticism and occult and everything. So because of that reason, like you know, Sadhguru talks about the consecration. So the part of the consecration that usually takes place in Kathmandu Valley is like you know, when the deity becomes too old or like becomes damaged or something, what is going to happen is like they have to, you know, create another deity and they have to consecrate the deity again. Okay, so it is said that the people recently people actually from Kathmandu Valley, they actually come to that hill. Okay, the location where they actually the child was buried. They'll come over there. They'll dig the soil from there, and then they will take that soil and then they will consecrate the deity. Okay, so without using that soil from there, the consecration is not complete in many of the temples. I cannot say for every places, but that is what they said and everything. So why I'm actually connecting all this is because as you know, all these events actually started unfolding and revealing by itself when the consecration was still a month to go. Okay, we were still waiting for 1 month. 1 month or so, even more days were still left. So now if you put together, if you look into this a map, it's crazy actually, it's mind-blowing. You can find in my Instagram page also. So the red one is actually the sword, which is the Ashtamatrika temple. Okay, the center one is the Guhyeshwari, which is actually the energy of the Shiva, feminine energy of the Shiva. This is Santipur, Swambhu, and all these places, Santikar Acharya, where the Santikar Acharya actually went to the Samadhi. This is a Purana Guhyeshwari. These three are actually interrelated. And this is part of the Brahmeswari. This is the energy of the Brahma, or the energy of the creation. Okay. And you can see how the yantra is being formed. Okay. You can actually see there are so many triangles are there. You can break this into 4 triangles, 5 triangles, 6 triangles, 7, 8 triangles, 9 triangles, something. And finally, when you connect all this, boom, you can actually see a Linga Bhairavi temple. Okay, now how it came, we do not know, but as you can see, it actually forms the very, very perfect, a geometric pattern. Okay, so the Linga Bhairavi temple was foretold, or we do not know. Okay, so it was crazy stuff. Okay, so this is how a revelation happened, and after that, I'll tell you even more. Okay, even more after that. So now what actually happened is when I got this revelation, and I started to figure it out different kind of patterns across the Kathmandu Valley and everything. And one of the crazy thing about the way of the Shiva and the way of the Devi is once you get into more Devi or something, she actually captivates you. Okay, she's going to override you actually. Okay, so while I was try, all these revelations were coming, and I sat down in the Google map and then trying to figure it out and everything. So what actually happened is it won't allow you even to go for your food, your basic needs. For example, going to the toilet, sleeping, even you couldn't even do your sadhana also. Okay, so it's just grips you like that. Okay, so it's a crazy kind of thing. So after that, of course, I come from engineering background and everything, and I started figuring out a very, very powerful temples or something. So this is another map, okay, which got revealed. I'll not go too much deeper. For example, a Pashupatinath temple actually falls here. If you see, okay. So Linga Bhairavi temple is there. This is the Guhyeshwari Shaktipit, one of the 18 Guhyeshwari Shaktipit. Purana old Guhyeshwari is there. Okay. Bagalamukhi is there. Another Bagalamukhi powerful temple is there. And the crazy thing about it is I'm not just drawing the triangles. Okay. These triangles actually has isosceles in nature. Okay. Isosceles basically means if I have a triangle, 2 of the sides are very, very near. Okay, that precision. For example, here some mathematics I've done. So if you divide they will come around 1. Okay, 1 or 1.1. It will come like that. Okay, so after that I started digging up, and it was coming out too many things, and one of the Anna actually it was becoming too much now. Okay, because I was unable to do my sadhana, and a lot of things were pending and everything. And the moment I go into dig into this, this actually takes a lot of time. Okay, it is not as easy because there's no tool to figure it like this. Recently, I spoke with some of the AI meditators, and of course, painfully, many people are very intense and they are willing, okay, at that moment. But when you give them a certain kind of task, they just disappear. Okay, they get this mystical ability to disappear. That is the only reason I had to do all this yatra on my own. I couldn't rely or give that responsibility to somebody else. Okay, and I know that I cannot fail myself. So that was what it is. So as it started revealing, like I started posting in the social media and everything, and eventually like it became too much. Okay, like I was unable to focus on anything. Like just like I said, like no sleeping, no going to toilet, all these kind of things was going on and everything. The deity actually, like the Devi actually hijacked me. Okay, per se. So because of that reason, like I posted it over there, and then but like some of the meditators were like very very curious. Okay, they said that, okay, Anna, like at least like show us like what you want to show at least. Okay, so this was like another map, like if you see, like this is actually, so this is the smaller triangle. Now like the sword actually is now here. Okay, if you see like this fainted like a sword kind of thing, this is where Linga Bhairavi is here, as you can see. Yalvi is the return of the Yalvi, and these are all the triangles like that are actually revealing itself. Okay, and they all make like isosceles triangle with the Linga Bhairavi temple. Okay, and at this time like the Linga Bhairavi temple is still not being consecrated. Okay, it's still in the process. And if you see, like if you divide, they all actually comes around like a 1.11. Okay, so that is of course Devi's number, and here also 1.11, 1.1. And like 1, okay, at least like it will come around 1, and like in many cases it will come 1.11. Okay, it was quite crazy stuff. And now like I'll reveal you like another interesting thing, even okay, now even larger, okay, now even crazier thing. Okay, so many triangles and everything. Okay, it is going to just like blow your crazy mind. And there is like even the Pancha Narayan, there is like there are 4 Narayan temples are also there. Okay, so like just like the yantra, like the Kathmandu Valley in the past, like not only they created the yantra of the kind of thing with the Devis, but they also has got like it's very profound, it's crazy. Like even like there's a Dasma Mahavidya temples as a mandala, they're like Ashtavairav and everything in Bhaktapur, Patan, as well as in Kathmandu Valley. And they also created something with the Vishnu. Okay, there are like 4 Narayan temples. If you see, like there are 4 Narayan temples that actually, covers the 4 corners of the capital city. And many of you may know there's a Buddha Nilkantha. This is basically a place where like the Vishnu, huge Vishnu statue is there. Okay, which is like lying down on the water. Okay, you can Google that one, Buddha Nilkantha, which is a Vishnu temple. And if you see, like they all also make the isosceles triangle with the Linga Bhairavi. Okay, you can actually do it yourself also, like I can show you. Okay, so now like this thing was revealing and everything. Now like why Vishnu is also related with actually the Devi is because there is like one thing. Okay, there is only one thing. There is one thing is like if you look from the Shiva and Shakti part, the lower chakras and below chakras, okay, upper chakras and lower chakras are divided into the chakras of the transcendence are known as the Shiva, and the chakras of the maintenance and survival are known as the Shakti chakras. Okay, that is one way of looking at it. Again, like there are many variations and everything depending upon like which kind of lineage, what kind of sort of practices you are doing and everything. Of course, like the objective is same, of course, at the end. Now like why like the Vishnu deities are also making like this kind of geometric precision is basically the lower chakras. If you know, like in the previous section also we discussed that the middle 2 chakras are associated something known as the Vishnu Granthi, which is basically the Anahata, and then the Manipuraka chakra. And as you know, like these are also the chakras of the Devi. Okay, so and you may or may not know. Again, like there's not much enough time to do Q&A session and asking you guys the quiz and everything, because there are a lot of things happening. Okay, so if you know, like there is also a term like you must have heard something known as the Narayani Namastute. Okay, so I do not know like how many of you know about like what do we know as the Narayani Namastute. So Narayani does not actually mean the Lakshmi. Okay, Narayani actually means the sister of Vishnu, which is basically the Ma Parvati herself. Okay, so you can know like what it means. Okay, so they are brother and sister. So Narayani Namastute, basically Narayani is the another name of the Ma Parvati. Okay, So after all this revelation, like now as we are going through all these places, and I didn't wanted to do further research because like it was actually hijacking everything, and then like everything was going all over the places. So finally, like we had the interview coming up. Okay, we had the like not the interview, but like a Linga Bhairavi volunteering meet was scheduled, and all the volunteers went together and they had to meet. But just a day before that volunteering meet actually happened, another revelation happened. Okay, so people in the Nepal, they may know there are, apart from the Kathmandu Valley, like there are two very, very powerful temples which is known to fulfill your wishes. Okay, very, very powerful. Okay, there are many of them, but like three of them are very, very powerful. But out of them, like two of them are very easily accessible. One cannot be accessible. During the winter. Okay, so one of them is the Manakamna temple, and another one is in the south, which is known as the Gadimai temple. Okay, Gadimai is very, very powerful, and which used to get like thousands and thousands of sacrifices. Okay, and because of it's in the south, it's in the Tarai region, very close to the border of India, and Manakamna temple is on the highway connecting the Kathmandu and like other cities on the western part of Nepal. Not very far from Kathmandu itself. So she's very, very powerful. So, and what actually happened is like when I just like was thinking about like what was going on and everything, and then we actually plotted. Okay, I tried and then started plotting this time like because see, when you're plotting anything like that is inside the valley, you can just plot it and then you can find the the distances very easily and everything. But if you are covering very long distances, for example, let's say you are mapping let's say from Linga Bhairavi temple in Kathmandu Valley, and draw a line all the way to the Linga Bhairavi temple in Coimbatore. If you do it, you have to be very precise. Okay, you cannot draw like a very thick line or something. It has to be between from sanctum sanctorum to sanctum sanctorum. Okay, and that is what actually we did with the Manakamna temple, Linga Bhairavi and Gadimai. Okay, and you cannot believe it, like when I plotted, okay, from the sanctum sanctorum of the Manakamna temple to the sanctum sanctorum, which is the Garbhagriha of the Gadimai temple, we found 111.11 kilometer. Okay, so you can also try this yourself. Okay, so this was like insane stuff. Okay, so it just like blew my mind, like because you can do very precisely in the Google map, and like if you see, like not only that, not only this distance is like a 111.11, but these two lines also, if you divide, like you can get like a 1.15. Okay, which is very close to the Devi's number. Of course, like if you remove the 5, like it's like a 1.1, so which is the Devi number itself. Okay, so it's like quite crazy. Okay, so like after this, like what actually happened was, after this, like we decided, okay, like because the consecration date is coming forward, and then like we had to do Linga Bhairavi consecration as well as Bhairavi Utsav also volunteering, and I was given the responsibility for the like sitting coordination from the Nepal side. So like we had like a very less time, nearly like 10 days or so was there, and a lot of promotions has to be there. But since the Devi was revealing all this thing, like it became necessary for me to visit all this place. So the moment the meeting happened, like me and like two other meditators, like I will not reveal their name, like because if they want to, like you can speak with them. So three of us like got into the night bus. We got into the night bus, and then like we went to Gadimai directly. Okay, we went to the Gadimai, which is in the southern part of Nepal. So we went over there in the early morning, like we reached over there, we got off, we got in the auto, it was all hazy, we went over there, and then because of her grace, like the temple was completely empty at that time. We went inside there, there's a picture also. Like I was not thinking about like taking a picture or something. I just went inside that, and then like I just sat over there and meditated. Very powerful this place. And one of them actually took the picture of mine. There was nobody there, and then like we were able to sit inside the consecrated space. And after that, like we had a very short period of time. Okay, so it's very hectic. And then I told these two annas that okay, we need to get back, and because it's a very rural area. Okay, you cannot get the buses every day or something like that. So we came back to the where the bus is, and you cannot believe it. The bus was just ready to be leaving in next 2 minutes. And when we got inside, there were 3 seats in front of, in the next to the driver, 3 seats just available for us. Okay, none of us had to stand or the moment we sat down, the bus just moved. It just rolled. Okay, and from there, we went to a place called Hetauda. So let me show you the map so that you guys can relate to the figure. We had the darshan here, and we came on the bus to Hetauda. And from there, we could have actually gone to Manakamna, but we were trying to go to one of the energy space of Padmasambhava also, which is also Sadhguru has spoken about, a tantric person. So because of that reason, we got off at Hetauda, and we were trying to take this very rare road. Okay, nobody actually takes this road. This is huge, lot of zigzags and everything. So we were able to take that bus, and you cannot believe again. Okay, so the moment we got off, and then we just we just went over there and then hoping if the bus comes, it's fine, otherwise we have to wait. And you cannot believe we got the bus immediately, and within 5 minutes it wouldn't even let you go for a toilet break also. Okay, but we somehow insisted the driver that okay, just wait for 2 minutes, and we went to the washroom and then came back. And then we got into the bus, and you cannot believe what actually happened. As the bus was proceeding towards our next destination, what actually happened is these guys were talking about that this bus wasn't actually planned. Okay, this bus wasn't planned actually to go towards this road actually. Okay, so it was another thing. Okay, just give me a moment. So after we left from there, we went to the Padmasambhava energy space. I'll not go into that one because this is not about him. For this is all about Devi. So we went there, did the darshan over there, and in the night, we went to the highway from where you can take a cable car and do the Manakamna darshan. Okay, why I'm telling this, there's another story behind this one. Okay, crazy story. You cannot believe it. So we went to the Manakamna, and then we had a darshan, Manakamna deity. Is very powerful. It also receives all different kind of sacrifices takes place over there. Okay, so we just we're just it always gets a huge queue. Okay, Manakamna itself basically means a mana, basically, as you know, it's your desire. Manakamna basically means the desire, literally. Okay, so whatever you desire actually comes true. Okay, that is what I have seen, and then the power is crazy over there. So we went over there, and then as we are just in the queue, it was a volcano kind of energies. So we had a darshan, and then now since we had gone up to this point, we had not planned enough, but after this point, we actually planned to have a darshan of the Gorkha Kalika also. Okay, if you know, in the map, there's a name called Gorkha, and the name Gorkha actually comes from the name, I think everybody knows, comes from the name Gorakhnath. Okay, so from the Guru Gorakhnath, the place names come as a Gorkha. So basically, we went to have a darshan of her, but now crazy thing started happening now, completely different. So as we were moving towards the Gorkha, we had to get off at the highway and then change the bus towards that one. So what actually happened is we were not getting any buses. Okay, no buses, literally no buses. We didn't get it. And the moment we got into, finally one bus came, and we all three got into the bus. And you cannot believe the crazy thing happened after that. What actually happened was the bus wouldn't even move. Okay, and then they all come, and afterwards they came and say that okay, we apologize, this bus is not going there. Okay, so after that we just had to get off from there, and then we just waited for the another bus, and finally somehow one bus came, and we eventually went, and then we're thinking, okay, why in every place everything was working for us. Okay, everything was having working everything for us, the bus was waiting for us, where the bus was not there, the buses were coming and everything. And this is not only for this, in my yatra, too many things has happened. Too many people who traveled with me know a lot of things. It will be insane thing to share all these things, not possible. So what actually happened is as we went to Manakamna, we had our lunch finally, and then we started climbing up. You have to climb a lot of stairs to the top of the temple, and we are just wondering why it was happening, and it was very hot. Okay, it was very difficult to go up, and it was very tricky also. And why a lot of these things was happening, and what has actually happened was as we go up, like we can actually see like the staircase was full of blood. Okay, it was blood everywhere. Okay, and we went all the way to the up, like, and we found out that like it was the Ashtami. Okay, so on the night of the on the day of the Ashtami, like the Gorkha Kalika, which is the ferocious deity, it's quite crazy. Like it is said that like in the past, like people went over there and had a darshan of her, like she's a life-size statue, and a lot of people actually lost their like a psychological balance, and then they got terrorized by her darshan, and because of that reason, like it is no longer allowed for people to go and have a darshan. It is said that like only the priest as well as you need special kind of permission. Okay, I'll not go too much detail into that one to have a darshan. So what actually happened is like when we went over there, like it was bloodbath everywhere. Okay, there are chickens to like goats to buffaloes and everything was. It was kind of like a massacre everywhere. The blood was everywhere. So after that, like from where like you have to go for a darshan because it is covered by the red cloth. And you cannot go inside. Two of the meditators actually sat outside, and then like they started meditating, and like I was just like figuring out like what was all these places, and it is a very powerful space. Okay, it's a very 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 powerful space, and it is said that like only with the power of the deity, with the grace of her, and then the instruction from the Gorakhnath, the one of the king in the past, like Prithvinarayan Shah, which was the king, actually unified the entire Nepal as we know now. Okay, because at that time, like there were around like 2,400 different kind of like the principalities at that time. Okay, it was all like divided and everything. So with the guidance of the Gorakhnath and then the grace of the Gorkha Kalika, that actually the clan of the kings were actually the dynasty actually was able to unify the Kathmandu Valley and entire Nepal as we know about. Okay, so we had a darshan, and then like as we were coming down, I was in full sweat, and then it was very hot, and then on the way back, like we are thinking about I'll not like add more stuff into that one. There are a lot of things like which may not be suitable for everybody, like who is in the chat, and like a lot of things are there. So as we coming back, like we got into the bus, and then the bus actually failed. Okay, the bus started failing. And we're still like thinking about like why it was happening and everything, because in my entire yatra like I had never faced this kind of situation. Okay, unless like in very rare kind of situation. And we started thinking like I couldn't figure it out, and nearly like 1 year 1 year after the consecration, finally it hit me. Okay, the clarity actually came. Okay, for me, like the clarity always comes afterwards. Okay, I don't know like how it is for everybody or not. So basically, like what actually happened was like finally I realized that because it was the Linga Bhairavi was not consecrated yet. Okay, the Linga Bhairavi was not consecrated yet, and Gorkha Kalika was already consecrated. But the one thing, the difference between the two is basically, I think like everybody has guessed already. So the type of the majority of the temple consecrated in Kathmandu Valley are basically tantric in nature, and like they actually need the animal sacrifice to keep their vibrancy and their energy alive and so on. While the Linga Bhairavi deity is a sattvic in nature, and it is done with the prana pratishtha by the energies of the Sadhguru and like a few of the other like the Isha meditators involved. Okay, so because of that reason, like finally I realized why the Devi was like asking us not to actually go to the Gorkha Kalika. Okay, she was actually telling us like giving certain kind of signs and everything, but somehow we reached, of course. Anyways, like everything is well, and that actually gave us certain kind of clarity inside and like a revelation of deity. Okay, so regarding that, so after that, like we came to Linga Bhairavi, Kathmandu Valley, and now like another challenge was there was one more very very powerful temple which does not actually make the yantra with the entire thing. I'll not go much more deeper into this one, but this is still related with like Linga Bhairavi. Okay, so basically like what actually happened is like there is another very very powerful deity which is known as the Pathivara. Okay, and I would say that like a Pathivara deity, it is a right time. Okay, it is a right time that like I reveal that one also. Like if you just give me a moment, let me show a little bit of map here. Okay, So basically what actually happened is, like, after that, we actually went to the Patal Devi, which is actually very close to the eastern part of Indian border. Okay. So I would say, like, this is actually the current type of self-manifested, you can say a Shakti Pitham or something. Okay. So I think, like, many of you might have already seen this. Okay, I downloaded that. Let me show you. Okay. So this is actually the natural geographic yantra that has been created. As you can see, on the bottom there's a Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai. After that comes the Kamakshi Kamakoti temple in Kanchipuram, and on the there you will see like a Vishalakshi temple in Kashi, of course, Varanasi, and on the other side, like you will say Dakshineshwar Kali temple, as well as the Kali Ghat. Okay, these are the very powerful temple which is in the Kolkata. And on the top, like you will see a Pathivara temple that most of the people do not know about it, but like a very, very powerful and very crazy thing. Like there are too many things, like I will not discuss into this one. Why I'm revealing this is because just before the consecration was about to happen, like nearly 10 days or something, like you know, we had to visit like all these powerful places. Okay, and like Pathivara temple is very, very far off from Kathmandu valley. Okay, it takes like nearly 2 days or something like that. So somehow like we reached over there on the top, and then there are a lot of stories. I'll not go into that one. Like I have posted too many things because this is about the Linga Bhairavi temple. So we went over there, and then like you know, there is a shrine that is made by the Hindu devotees. Okay, so Pathivara name is actually given by the Hindu devotees. Okay, but there is another temple next to that one which is actually made by the Kirati people. Okay, if you know, like Shiva is also known as the Kirateswar, which basically means the tribal person. Okay, at the one time, like before the current civilization has evolved, we are all, our past generations were all tribal people. Okay, and that's where the Kirati words comes. So like that is a Limbu temple. Limbu is one of the tribes, tribal people in like eastern part of Nepal, and they are like the Kirati people. Okay, Kirati background and everything, and like it's the Muklulung, similar kind of name is said. So they have got a separate shrine for that one. And like when me and like another Anna actually went over there and meditated, like we couldn't actually found any energy over there. Okay, the energy presence was not very palpable over there, which we are expecting. Okay, so we knew that the energy source has to be somewhere else. It is not actually the main sanctum sanctorum. Okay, so after like speaking with the priest of the Limbu priest, like he gave us a direction, and like actually like what actually happened is me and the another Anna, like we actually lost our way, and we went nearly like you can say like nearly 500 meters to the opposite direction. Okay, and we saw that it was actually going to the wrong way, and when we turned our head and then looked to the other side, we actually saw that like there were certain kind of flags in the cliff. Okay, so we realized that it is that way. So when we went over there, like this temple, of course, like cannot be reached. This sanctum sanctorum cannot be reached actually, like normally, because like it's on the cliff, and then like there is lot of, you know, snow is there. Okay, during the winter, like if you sleep, like a gone case. Okay, nobody can save you. Okay, it was that kind of thing. But we had went there like a 2.5 days travel and everything. It's very far off from the Kathmandu valley, and only transportation is a bus. Okay, bus and jeeps and everything. So we went over there, and then like you know about the Gurans. Like I think like some of you who have been to Uttarakhand and in Himalayas, you know. Okay, there's a rhododendron flower. So we just hang on to the rhododendron flower trees, and we just like hold on, and then it started going downwards. Okay, so you have to come up also like that. Okay, if you lose your balance, like if the tree is going to save you, or like you are gone case, okay, you'll become part of that cliff itself. So as we went down, like and then like we went to the cliff, and you cannot believe, like you can actually see. I actually don't have a picture here at the moment, but like you can actually see there like a yantra. Okay, the equilateral triangle. This time like this is not the isosceles triangle. It's a naturally formed triangle actually. Okay. It was actually a naturally formed triangle. I have not, like, okay, maybe like the Devi does not want it to be shown to everybody. This has happened to many times, okay, so. So basically, like, if you ever go over there, like, you can actually see, like, an equilateral triangle on the cliff, okay. Nobody can actually go and actually like create that. I can guarantee you that one. Okay, maybe I can be wrong, but based on what I can see like it's a natural forming triangle. And like I said that like people in that area like has actually evolved in a different way, and this is a very recent happening. This is not very ancient kind of temple in that place. So when I went over there, like on the top of the triangle, like I could feel a powerful presence. Okay, and I could know that the energy is actually coming from the bottom. Okay, the yantra is actually facing like this towards us, and then like it's actually like you can actually see the triangle from the top. Okay, so it's not a very good idea to sit on the top of the triangle and meditate. Of course, Sadhguru has already spoken about it. Okay, you should not expose your like a lower chakras to the triangle, to the energy source and something. So after that, like we started climbing down, and then there was just like this much narrow space. Okay, so you can hardly crawl from that side, and as we crawl inside, like you cannot miss her presence over there. Okay, and now like when we went over there, like the Anna who was traveling with me, he just sat down and then he started meditating. I was just like standing there, and then like I was just like connecting with her. Okay, so I was just connecting with her, and then like in all her glory, like she wanted her to be there. Actually, I can guarantee you that much. And it's like one of the most unforgettable the experience in my entire life. And then it's a Linga Varavi, like we actually made this possible and everything. And why I call like if you ask me literally as a seeker, I do not know like it is either the Devi or any kind of being or something, because I need to be honest and everything, because it has a personality. Okay, it has a personality unlike the consecrated form. So I can guarantee that like it's not a consecrated form. Okay, 100%. Okay, and there's no deity or nothing. Like there's a 1, 2 Trishuls are there, like just the small rocks or something like that. It's her abode. She's very, very powerful. There are many, many events that has unfolded. Like I will not go too much into that one. But like one of the things is like many people were coming back with a child. Okay, that they actually desired from the deity, and the deity actually helped them to have a bore a son. Okay, or a daughter or something. So they were coming back to have a darshan with their like a child. Okay, that was gifted by the deity. So why I call it as a Devi or like a Shakti Pitham or something like that, because the nature of the way of the masculine energy and the feminine energies are completely different. Okay, you can know that very clearly. So after that, like after having a darshan, we started climbing up very carefully and everything, and then we came back, and there was a very rare situation, like because she's a very, very powerful deity, and then like there are many, many situations where like a deities actually find a certain kind of abode only because they don't want to be disturbed or certain kind of thing. Okay, so this is a kind of thing that actually happens, and because of that reason, like I explicitly told, like I have not posted that picture. I didn't even took the picture of the abode. I've taken the picture of the triangle from the top. Because I know like it's a completely different kind of deity and everything. So I always like resisted myself from like sharing all this kind of information, but somehow like I felt the right moment and everything. And there was a moment like I even told like the meditator Anna, like who traveled with me, like that like not to reveal this kind of things unless like it's absolutely necessary or something like that. I think like it's a right time, high time that the glory of her has to be known to the people. At least like the dedicated meditator, like who created time and then came to this, this sharing like before the consecration of the Linga Varavi in Kathmandu Valley. So after that, like there was a moment when Anna, like the meditator Anna who actually traveled with me, like I've actually given him a picture because he was really much curious that he wanted to show the picture to the Ma, like who was actually taking care of the Linga Varavi temple after the consecration happened, because that Anna is regularly volunteering at the temple at the moment, even now also. Okay, so I shared the picture one day with him, and that yantra, like a triangle rock, naturally formed yantra. So he wanted to show it. He said like he was about to show, and like what actually happened was like somebody actually called him. Okay, so basically like the deity intervened. Okay, so these are the things. So and many of you like who are here, like you are blessed. I can guarantee you that much, because without the will of the Devi, nobody can have her darshan. Nobody can have it. But you have to strive. If you strive, like she's everywhere. Okay, for example, like if you ask me, like I carry like even Sadhguru, like Linga Bhairavi, Dhanalinga, even the Adiyogi Alam, and even Isha Yoga Center with me all the time. So for me, like a location is not an issue and everything. But like after that, like we head back. We had like other plans also, but now the volunteering activity was like a ramping up. Okay, because the consecration was taking place. Okay, the consecration place was like a taking place. This place was actually taking place, and then. So after that, like the volunteering activity was ramping up. Like there were lack of volunteers. Although I was part of the coordination, there were like a lot of things, as you know, like there are a lot of things needs to be taken care of. So we, because we had the darshan of the Patal Devi, so we actually. So after that, like we just like wrapped up the other temples on the way. Like we didn't have a darshan. We directly came back to the Kathmandu Valley and like threw ourselves to the volunteering process and everything. And after that, everybody knows, with the grace of the Linga Bhairavi Devi, with the grace of the Pathivara and Dakshin Kali, and Gadimai, Manakamna, and many other devis, and even like Talizubani and all the deities that are in the Kathmandu Valley, like they all welcomed everybody from all over the world, and it actually happened like very successfully. And as we know, like we have completed 1 year, and this Saturday, like there's a anniversary is there, 24th of March, which according to the lunar calendar. So I wish everybody greetings as well as congratulations and well wish. Please make use of this opportunity opened by the Sadhguru. And out of all the deities and everything, like Linga Bhairavi is highly conducive. There are a lot of different kind of things. Like I can go on. This is going to be like an ocean, but again, like it is not going to be any useful for you guys. Okay, for you it's going to be just information only. I know that. Because whatever you are going to share, like it's going to be information for me also. Okay, so yeah, like some of the people like who did a yatra with me, like I can see them here also. So you guys are blessed, like in the time of Sadhguru and everything. So yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to share more, like there are more, but I'm like running out of the energy because I cannot handle like Devi too much. Because I'm low in like a sadhana for like a nearly 1.5 year, because of this commitment for the Sannidhi.net, and a lot of like revelations of the Devi has happened. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing. So I'll just like take some of the questions and everything before we wrap up. We'll finish it like exactly at like 9:49. Okay, so 111 minutes we committed for that one. Okay, maybe like we can go up to like 10, so Nepali time, because it's about the temple in Nepal. So okay, so questions if you have, if you share, like today, like we are all red in color. Okay, I'm naturally like always Shiva only, but yeah. Okay, can I worship Kali along with Linga Bhairavi? Okay, so I would suggest no, because Linga Bhairavi is conducive for your well-being, your materialistic well-being, your family and everything. Kali is the most powerful deity, but it's not conducive for the people who wants to live in a family situation. Okay. Can I worship? You can worship anything, but worshipping is one thing, invoking is another thing. Okay, so I don't know about invoking the Krishna, but I know invoking the Devi. So if Devi comes, there's no space for anybody else. If the Shiva comes, there's no space for anybody else. Okay, you have to be like that. Yeah, how you can be, that's a way of the mind. Okay. To handle everything. And how experience Kailas wherever you are, yeah, that is also possible. But you need to have certain mastery over your system. Sadhguru has opened the possibility of all the sadhanas and everything. I've seen like many beings. I met like many of them who are capable of all these things. So It's capable for everybody else. If it was not possible for other people, I would not be like, pushing myself like this. Okay. Because doing the yatra is not an easy thing. It's a very, very difficult thing. You cannot believe, like I could have been dead like many times also. Okay. I would have damaged, destroyed my energy body also many, many times. There are many, many situations where I express certain kind of energies that I'm not aware of and not conducive of it. So I will always send the fellow meditator with me. Okay, I don't enter to those kind of places because I need to protect my energy system. Because the purpose of me going through all these kind of energy spaces was with a purpose. Like I don't actually need, just like I mentioned earlier, like I don't need any energy space or anything for me because of the grace of Sadhguru and all the processes that he has given. But when you go through all these kind of energy spaces, like these energy spaces are designed in a completely different way. And since I'm going there for the first time, like I do not even know like what to expect. Okay. And just like if you eat throughout the day, okay, if you eat throughout the day, like a different kind of thing, your digestive system cannot handle. Same way, like if you go to different kind of energy sources, like that are going to all different kind of directions and they activate different kind of random chakras and everything, then it is not conducive for your system. So like whenever you go to a certain kind of energy space, meditate over there, like make use of that place, but do not try to become like a experience hunting kind of thing, because if you go from one place to another, you are certainly going to damage your energy system. Okay, that is the reason like every spiritual process, there is certain kind of recommendation and different kind of guidelines are given to practice in a certain way. Okay, that's why you have to listen to the guru. Okay, you should not listen to me. You should not listen to anybody else. Okay, who claims they know. You have to listen to your guru. Can we chant Linga Bhairavi Stuti in other Devi temples? Yeah, of course. Why not? Devi is Devi. Different names, but it's the manifestation of the same energy. But they can be used in the different purposes. So yeah, Linga Bhairavi Stuti is the most conducive one. But do not chant the certain kind of other mantras like that Sadhguru has said explicitly not to do it. That's really great to hear, Akka, that you have completed your 40-day Shambhavi Mandala. Please continue as much as you can. Because if you guys do not know, like a Shambhavi actually comes from the name Shambho. So Shambhavi is the Devi herself, okay? Shambhavi is the feminine form. So she's the Shakti herself. So when nobody was able to climb Mount Kailash, okay? Nobody was able to Mount Kailash. There are many things and other things, but the Buddhist people, like a Buddhist and then the Bon people, it is a sacrilege for them, okay? Sacrilege for them to go to the temple, like go to the mountain. They don't even go close to the main mountain itself. There are a lot of things, like if you are very, very receptive, then like you will be exploding, okay, already like from far, like there's no need to go. Like if you go too much closer, if your energy system is very sensitive, and then like we do not know like what is going to happen, like the power is like that. Okay. Okay, namaskar. Now sometime in devotion I feel like I am the mother to the Devi also. That is completely fine. Like whether in whatever way you approach, like it is fine, because like even the Ma Parvati had her mother like in her different like incarnation, like she already had a mother. For example, like if you do not know, like she has actually taken different manifestation. One of the most interesting manifestation that is relevant to the seeker is the Mumba Devi. Like if you do not know the story of Mumba Devi, like when Shiva was trying to initiate Ma Parvati into 112 methods, she couldn't because the process was too long and very intense, and a lot of things was needed. Because at this time, like Shiva was not her consort. Shiva was her guru. Okay, so Shiva said that like you have to maintain the awareness. You cannot go to sleep or something, but she would fall asleep all the time. Okay, so she couldn't continue. So Shiva said that like you go and like take a birth as a fisherwoman. Okay, so that like she was taken a birth as a fisherwoman in like current day Mumbai, and like she learned like how to fish, because if you want to fish for your living, then like you need to have a very keenness of attention all the time. Okay, so after that, like after having that and everything, like she know like how to maintain your awareness. Okay, so that is it. Okay, chanting the Vairavī Pratana, like I do not know for that one, like which I do not know, like I don't chant, and then like I don't recommend people also. I don't experiment myself. Okay, so I'm like Shambhavi, is it Agastya Muni? We do not know. Only Sadhguru knows about that. How to grow Shambhavi on daily basis? Forget about like a growing daily basis. Please do your sadhana every day. That is the commitment you need to do. That is only thing I know. Okay. So just do it like offering. So why we do not do sadhana at night? It's because it's not conducive for the married people. Okay, because of the certain orientation of the sun and then the earth. That is the reason. Okay, if you do a lot of things like see, like there are a lot of questions like in the past. I also heard that people are asking about brahmacharya and all these kind of problems are happening. See, like if you plan to live in a family situation and if you want to implement the law of the brahmacharya, it's no good. Okay, so you always follow the instruction of the guru. He knows the best, and it's not necessary for us to know each and every detail. For example, like whatever I shared about the Devi, I don't know anything. Okay, it just happened to me, and I'm just becoming a vehicle to share the glory of the Devi. That's it. Now, sir, did you find any connection with Bhairavi and Uttarakhand Devi temples? I do not know so far because the concentrations are different and not actually. Yeah. So there's another question like about the laughter, like Sadhguru says, like whatever happens during the sadhana, it's fine. Okay, as long as you are not experiencing any problem. If you have a problem, please speak with the Ishangas or the Devi temple, the Ma or Brahmacharis. Okay, this is not about Mahakal. Okay, this is about the Mahakali. So we'll ignore all the Shiva things today. Is there more intense sadhana for Linga Bhairavi other than Stuti? Don't try to see, there is no such thing as a more intense sadhana or something. Like we discussed last time also, like many people say, which is the more powerful thing, okay? For example, like three people will come, like one people will see a flower, and he say, oh, this is just another flower. Another person will see, oh, such a beautiful flower, okay? And it will make him joyful. But another person will see that flower, and then he can actually see the divine in that flower, okay? So just like Sadhguru says that like it's not about what we do, but how we do it. Okay, I'll be saving this video. Okay, Anna, can you explain Buddhism and what Sadhguru offers? Okay, that is out of the question. This is not about the serious spirituality. This is about the exuberance of the Devi. Okay, her like her anniversary is coming. Okay, don't spoil that with this. How can we increase our receptivity and make our system sensitive? Just follow the sadhana. That's what it is. Okay. There are a lot of things like just go through the Sadhguru website and you can find a lot of material on that. Is there any certain pattern I need to follow or visit the temples? Okay, no, like there's nothing. There's no pattern or something. Like you just need to go through that. Again, like you don't need to visit all these temples. If you want to, like it's also completely fine. Like if you if you want to visit only one temple, that is also completely fine. See, one of the main reasons like the temples were built was not actually for the meditators. Okay, because the meditator, the sadhana that a guru has given to you is the most powerful thing. Like you have all the chakras that even all the deities in the planet, you cannot find these kind of chakras. The only thing is if you give into your sadhana, your system is already have got a lot of chakras. Okay, so that is the most foolproof. But if you want to progress and you want to explore mysticism and everything, this can be useful. In that case, you can approach these temples. But it's not necessary that everybody has to go to each and every place. It's not practical also. Okay, because the goal of the Sannidhi.net is not for you to become the travel junkie. For example, the yatra I did, if many people will try to go on a yatra like this, it will take several lifetimes. I can guarantee that one. Okay. So something was making me push to do all this yatra. And certain period of time, when I came back to Mallikarjuna temple in Srishalam, this entire drive actually settled down by itself. Okay, that basically means that My task was done. As you can see, like all of you are here, and then you know the significance of all these energy spaces. My purpose is completed. It's not necessary to go on doing the yatra unnecessary. Okay, can you cleanse the Rudraksh and equinox? Okay, I'm not the Rudraksh expert, so I do not know. On the equinox, like doing the meditation is very, very powerful. I will be creating a post regarding that. Okay. Okay, no presence time. In this one, created a lot of videos. Okay, it's all about Devis now. Okay? So can you please tell me about the Patiwara temple of Tapising? Okay, already done. Like Anna, like you missed the entire thing. This is what it is. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, if you give something else like a more higher priority than what is available, then you will miss it. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, I've noticed that you are wearing the snake ring on the right hand. Okay, this is the same question last time. This is the front-facing camera of my phone, so this is my left hand. As you can see, like you can see by the Sadhguru's picture also. So yeah. I know why I feel strong energy in Bhairavi temple, but I cannot feel connected or not. Okay, don't worry about anything. Like okay, if you analyze, see like spiritual experience is one thing. Making the progress in the spirituality is completely different thing. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. Like you just like give in to the process that Sadhguru has given. That's it. Okay, don't analyze, don't compare, do not like look into the another person. The problem like everybody has is because like what is the another person is doing. Okay, that is the worst thing in materialistic as well as the spiritual domain. So if you have that kind of idea, you are not doing spirituality. In spirituality, either you and the Devi is there, you and the Dhanaling is there, you and Sadhguru is there. Okay, everybody is out of the equation, including yourself. Okay, don't give too much importance here to your mind again. I'm unable to consistently do sadhana, and because this, okay, if you are on inconsistently doing the sadhana, I've created a lot of posts into that one. Okay, you can see the post I created this morning, or you can go through like inner engineering program again. Okay, because you have not understood the significance of it. Okay, if you know the significance of this life, you will do sadhana. There's no other alternative. Okay, what is the difference between the Bhairavi and Bhairavi? Again, like this is like a very, very diverse topic and everything. If you look from the generic point of view, like they are like the equivalent masculine and feminine form of energies. Okay, but like they have come in like many different flavors, and not only that, like how they are consecrated and what purpose they have been consecrated, they are completely different. Okay. So on how to know Devi is with us and her grace is us. So basically, like just like Sadhguru says that like you are asking the question like the sun is there or not. Okay, the sun is always there. Like if you open the curtains, the sunlight will enter. Same way, the Devi is always there. Okay, the only thing is just like Sadhguru says, just like the gravity is functioning, pulling us down, the grace is always pushing us up. Okay, so the only thing is like you just need to become a little bit receptive and everything, and this judgment has to go away. Okay, this judgment, this question that, okay, you are again like comparing with other people. You just hang on to the process that Guru has given. Okay, this Q&A is not about the Ishta Devata, so I cannot answer that now. So if there are certain kind of temples in a trouble, like I got one question or something like that, we cannot do anything about that. Like the only thing we can do it is at the moment, like spread more and more awareness about inner engineering program. Sadhguru is bringing like the conscious planet, and now the miracle of the mind program is also coming up, which basically means we just need to make people more and more aware. Because if you just protect the temple and like there is no awareness about what the temple is going to do, it will just turn into a certain kind of the museum. Okay, the same thing is happened to like so many temples in India, in Kathmandu Valley, and many other places also. The temples are there, like nobody knows the significance of it. So the main thing is just the building the awareness. That's what it is. So what is the difference between Bhairavi and Mahavidya Bhairavi? Okay, I do not know about that one, because like I am not a scholar. Okay, some of them like about the 10 Mahavidya I know, but I do not know different versions of Bhairavi. Okay, because I am not a Sakta practitioner. And please share some info about Ma Kali Devi. Is she only a symbolic form of time, or is she a deity which has been made by the yogis of the past? Both actually. Okay, your answer is both. Okay, both, and like even if you have 3 or 4 different variations, like all of them are true actually. And now what is the difference between Devi, Yantra and Meru? Okay, I do not know about the Meru. but I know about the Devi yantra. Okay. So Devi yantra is just like a very powerful form that Sadhguru has consecrated. If you are talking about the Linga Bhairavi yantra, there are many yantras of Lakshmi as well as Sri yantra and many different kind of yantras. But the one about the Sadhguru's yantra, like it is very conducive for both the well-being of your entire family, your business, as well as spiritual well-being. Okay. You need to attend, the Linga Bhairavi yantra program from Isha. Sorry. Please contact like Isha Foundation, or like you can just go to the Isha website and then find more about that. Okay. In the US, we are going to the Devi Consecration. What is the essence of the participants being part of the consecration? Is there any impact on that? No, like it's the wonderful thing. Like since I think like by your name, like you are a female. So if you are giving birth, whenever you're giving birth to a child or something, you will have a profound kind of experience, isn't it? Now, like if you guys are going for the consecration, if you are participating, then it's a privilege. You will be a part of giving birth to the divine. So there's no impact. Like it's all going to be it's the grace, and like it's the privilege that you will be part of the consecration. What is the difference between Devi in Coimbatore and Nepal? So the one in Nepal is like more intense and everything. Sadhguru says that like the third eye is like a more created more powerful, and one of the main thing about the Linga Bhairavi temple in Kathmandu is like I should not be saying this, but the sadhana hall is actually on the top of the temple itself, and it's like it's like on the top of the fire of the energies. It's crazy. Okay, so anybody like who is doing the sadhana over there is sure to like progress fast. Anna, you should just release a snake off like a snake ring. Okay, I do not know about this one. Okay, please speak with the Isha life. Okay. Is it a very big thing to want to take Mahasamadhi or consciously leaving the body? Okay, before thinking about Mahasamadhi or consciously leaving the body, you have to be fulfilled, first of all, 100% fulfilled. Like you are not looking for this or that or something, everything. Like you should be fulfilled by yourself, first of all. And after that, you can look towards mastery of your system. Okay. If these two things has not come into your life, forget about like these other things. Okay, just focus on your sadhana, and eventually like you reach to these two benchmarks, and you can think about the other things. Otherwise, like Sadhguru is there to take care of, but we just need to do our best. Okay, we cannot just trying to like go one way and then like asking Sadhguru to do another thing. This is an impossible thing to do. Okay, without your willingness and without the sadhana on your hand, even the Lord Shiva will come. Like he cannot liberate you. I can guarantee you that much. Anna, can you make a video on Ashtabhairava Bhaktavur sometime? Okay, Anna, like I've not done a extensive yatra on the Ashtabhairav, so hopefully like if the divine will intervene, because I didn't even plan to have this this call today, okay? Because I just came last night on a flight after the Shunya volunteering, and somehow like the Devi intervened, and I'm here, sitting here. I don't even know like why I'm doing this, but okay, how to set up a temple at home? Can I add Shiva also? And rather than like don't do all these kind of things, like see, one thing what you need to do it is, if you want to create a temple, there are two things one can do. One thing is like if there is not a guru or something, you can use pictures of anybody who you feel as like elevated. Okay, if you don't have a guru or anything, then you can make a use of a picture, and that can help you with your devotion. Okay, but when a being like Sadhguru is here, and then who is providing you the more foolproof and then the most powerful processes and different tools of transformation, you should go for the Devi yantras, Linga Bhairavi yantras, Sannidhi, Sadhguru Sannidhi, or you can also get like a Linga Bhairavi Gudi, and you can also get Dhyana Linga yantras. Okay, this is going to 100% going to help you, and these are like 100% conducive for everyone. Okay, it's not like different kind of temple. For example, like let's say you bring like a Shiva or something like that. We do not know like whether, let's say, like it is consecrated properly or what type of image it does, because if you have seen, like I created a recent post about the raw form of the Shiva or something, the Shiva comes in many different variations, okay? So you need to know like what kind of Shiva you want, okay? So to be very much clear and everything, like just go through the way of the Guru. That is the best way to approach. How do you know energy space is powerful, okay? So how do you know? That is basically you need to do sadhana, okay? If you know like the energy is within you, you will know the energy is outside also. They are not different. Can you have a real conversation with Devi like between people? Since this is a Devi, yeah, it's possible. Okay, because you just asked that question, I'm just going to give that answer. In the Tantric sadhana, it is said that there is a communication established between the sadhak and the Devi. Yeah, that is also possible. But I have not explored that one, so I can answer more. But I have witnessed that one. Why everyone crazy about the Ma Kamakhya? What's the experience? Okay, I've already created a lot of posts about the Ma Kamakhya, and every time somebody accesses the powerful spaces, Ma Kamakhya is there. But for the yogic practitioner, like I wouldn't recommend you to go and do the practices over there. Again, it's my personal opinion. You need to use that disclaimer because it's we still do not know the origin of the Ma Kamakhya. Okay, later on, like as the civilization evolved, like we refer it as one of the Shaktipits, where like the yoni of the Ma Sati or the Parvati has fallen off in previous incarnation as the Sati, who was the consort of the Lord Shiva. But it is said that like even before like the Sanatana Dharma as we know and Shaktipeeth the new like a trend started and everything started, it was actually the Kirati energy space before, and we do not know even before that. Okay, but like it is very very powerful, and like if you want to use the word, it's like overpowered. Okay, that's why like Kamakhya actually comes from the word. It's basically the Kameshwari also. Okay, and it is you must have heard the word Tripura Sundari. Okay, she is the form of the Tripura Sundari as the Das Mahavidya says, but it is even ancient than ancient. It is said that it is one of the 4 ancient places, and it is the recently like it is being promoted as the cradle of the Tantra. Okay, it's very very powerful. Like it's overpowered, and because of that reason, like I didn't even dare to like enter the sanctum also. Okay, it's too powerful for my liking. Like I wouldn't go and do sadhana there. Because like next day onward also, like because it wouldn't let me go outside her perimeter. There's a gate, a wall is there. She wouldn't let us. That is the reason like even in this beginning, like I discussed about like why the Ma Parvati actually, the Devi actually attracts even the ascetic like Shiva, okay? Because Shiva is the like, the epitome, the perfect example of a yogi. Like nobody can disturb him, but even she can disturb him, okay? She can bring him from his like perfect inertia, okay? So she wouldn't like let me go outside of the perimeter, but somehow like I left and I never entered inside that one, okay? But next day, like when I woke up, like her energy was still in my system, so she's very very powerful. But again, like there are, it's not only about experiencing, like there are tools also, okay, that how to make use of it and like how to use it and everything. For example, like even the Linga Bhairavi temple, although like we can use her as a devotion, we can use her in many different ways. I think like if you go to the ashram, like you can see like different processes can be started from there, okay? So a guru is needed for all that. Like it's not a place to experiment on their own and then like a damage their system. Can you live with Linga Bhairavi like Ramakrishna and Mahakali? Okay, like you don't need to become like a Ramakrishna. Nobody else can become like a Ramakrishna, and nobody else can become like you also. Okay, just because it worked for the Ramakrishna, it is not going to work for everyone. Otherwise, like all the disciples, including the Vivekananda, would have also lived like that, isn't it? So it's not like that. Like you just do your sadhana, and then your intelligence within your system is going to take the course. Okay, that's why like Sadhguru says like it's the divine has to function through you, not you trying to do whatever. Do not try to copy what somebody else is doing. And is it Devi and all the deities wish that in recent time there's a higher awareness or interest? I wouldn't say that, but like it has to do with the yugas also, just like Sadhguru spoke in the recent, I think like some conclave was happening about the yugas, but it is the Sadhguru himself. That is what is actually happening. And of course, like then Linga is there. I wouldn't go much more deeper into that one because this is all about Devi. Okay. What does inviting a snake deity means? Okay, like this is not about the Devi. Okay, I'm going to ignore all the questions without the Devi. Do you know anyone who has seen Devi in physical form? Yeah, a lot of them. Okay. Does the consecrated energy longs for liberation? There are many different ways for the liberation. Like you don't need to have a consecrated energy also, but the 21st century people, like they don't have a like attention span even for like the 10 seconds. So forget about other processes. So consecrated energy space is mandatory for nearly 100% of the people in 21st century. What is Sati Mata? Oh, okay. I think like a Sati Mata is basically the previous incarnation of Ma Parvati, who actually failed to evolve. Like because what actually happened is like in every incarnation, like Shiva is waiting. So Sati is actually like Ma Parvati. Let's say like rather than using the Ma Parvati, we'll say the Sakti. Okay, the feminine, divine feminine was taking the form of woman. Okay, feminine body, and then like she wants to unite with the Shiva. Okay. But like what is actually happening is because Shiva is already in a raw form, okay? He's like in a raw form because without the feminine, like he doesn't know how to handle it. So because of that reason, like he's like Agora or like he's a Digambara and he's like a Bhairava, all that kind of thing, like you can think about it. So basically what actually happens is every time the divine feminine comes, she is not evolved enough, okay? Because like she is not the way of the logic. She does not know the ways of the masculine way of approaching things step by process, okay? She is very like intuitive and she is very dynamic. So it is said that like she comes, she incarnates, and then she fails every time, okay? She fails and she leaves her body, and then like Shiva goes into the meditation. Shiva waits for her to take birth again and again. So eventually like in the 107th birth, she takes the birth of this Sati. Okay, she was the daughter of the son of the Brahma. Okay, yeah, and then like basically like she got married with the Shiva, and then like something happened, and she was unable to. She was like a little bit like I wouldn't say like a mentally unstable or something, but she was unable to control her emotions or something. Okay, so she was the daughter of the Daksha Prajapati. So, and then like somehow like she actually, dived into the fire, and then like she died, and then she left her body. And Shiva actually went to the tragedy. Shiva carried the body of the Sati and walked all over the Indian subcontinent. And wherever the body part of the Sati fell, that is where like Shiva actually consecrated the energy space, Devi energy space, as well as the Bhairava to guard that one also. Okay, so the Bhairava was created to, safeguard that energy over there. Okay, and you may not know that like the Sanskrit alphabets, they all are actually the Bija mantras. Okay, from the Ka to the Gya, like all these things are Bija mantras, and each Bija mantras are associated with each Shaktipeethas. Okay, I'll not go more deeper into this one. And finally, like in the 108th birth, like she took the form of the Parvati, and this time like Shiva knew like it was not the fault of the of the Shakti, but it was the fault of the Shiva. Okay, so the Shiva this time like ensured that he put like Parvati into like Ma Parvati into so many tests. Okay, and eventually like when she passed all the tests, and even Sadhguru says that like after passing the test, like Parvati was in a certain kind of spiritual growth that even the Shiva couldn't ignore her presence. Okay, and after that, like Shiva, Lord Shiva actually like initiated her into 112 methods and like all the other kind of tantric processes and everything through which like she was able to invoke like different deities like Kali and Bhadrakali and Tara and Chinnamasta, all these kind of deities from her. Okay, so these are different things. Okay, I'm not going to answer all the questions, only the Devi only. Okay, today is the Devi. Otherwise, like it's not going to be good. Please share more information about Power God temple. Okay, I don't know about Power God, so I cannot answer anything about that. If I sit my back facing the Devi space, no, like I don't think like it's a good idea to face your back towards the Devi. Okay, don't do that. Again, you can speak with, but I wouldn't do it. Okay. What are the connections of Das Mahavidya and Linga Bhairavi? So there's no connection. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have information, then like it's better like I don't give you more information, and that's not good. If you know certain kind of thing, then I can give you a specific answer. Okay. If you ask very generic question, like we don't have a time. Okay. We are going overdue of 111 minutes. Okay. So we'll go like another 11 minutes. Okay. Does Linga Bhairavi belongs to Das Mahavidyas? No. Okay, non-related question, but the Rudraksh Diksha, no. If it is cracked, like, okay. If your Rudraksh is cracked, don't use it, okay? When talking about negative entity aspects on daily basis, yeah, it is going to attract. Not only that, even your negative thought is going to attract also. For example, like if you think that, okay, I'm going to fail in my exam, I'm going to fail in my exam. If you just talk about that one, you'll eventually fail your exam, 100%. So, it is going to happen. Like the karma works in like 3 different ways: from your thoughts, your intentions, and your actions, and your energy also. These 3. You can read the karma book. Okay. It is okay to visit the different Shaktipeeths and meditate there regularly. Yeah, that's completely fine. But if you have a sadhana, powerful sadhana given by Sadhguru, then like it's not needed to go to the Shaktipeeth because it's already too much crowded. You'll be wasting a lot of time, and you have to climb a lot of stairs also. Okay. I don't have that much of time and everything. I did the yatra only because like it was needed as part of the project. But if it is locally available, you can make use of it. But if it is crowded, like it's not good. Okay, I'm not going to answer certain kind of thing like that is going to create hallucinations. Okay, so I'm going to ignore some of them. Okay, Namaskar. As you said, you know people who have met Devi in physical form. Can you share some stories on how did they? Okay, like we don't have a time for this one. Okay, long questions I'll avoid. Okay, short questions only. So we got another, yeah, nearly ran out of time again. Should I seek a particular aspect of Bhairavi when I'm doing the sadhana? No, like don't do anything. Okay, while doing the sadhana, like again, like this is a question you need to ask, but you should just follow the instructions. Okay, follow the instructions of the Guru. That's it. Don't try to do anything else. If you try to do something else, like that basically means that you are claiming that like you know better than your Guru. Okay, which is not the right approach for your sadhana. Okay, same kind of question. Okay, always like just follow the instruction. That's it. Okay, there's another question. This is an interesting question. Why Shiva is beneath Ma Kali's feet? That is the same question like we asked already. Like I've actually created a video on this one. Okay, in my hardcore spirituality, there's a video why Shiva is beneath the Ma Kali's feet. Okay, please watch that one because no time to answer that. Where should I learn Sanskrit language? You can learn from the Sanskrit channel is there. Like if you look into the YouTube, there's another Isha meditator on that. Like he has got a Sanskrit channel is there. Okay. I think he's the best one, but for me, like I don't have a time or the need for that one. So, okay, I don't go often as a live because like it takes a lot of time and energy and everything, and it's not good also like for you guys to get all this because this is like a 1-year anniversary. So there are a lot of things that needs to be shared and everything. So. Okay, this is a question I need to answer. Okay, so a lot of people complain about the Linga Bhairavi not being mentioned in scripture, while other say she is from Das Mahavidya, which is the fact or not. Okay, this is the question. I'll give you a very, very hardcore answer. It's going to the slap to everybody also, like, and it's very, very needed also. See, like one thing is what is going to understand is you need a sense. One thing, you need a sense first thing, and you need the capability. These are the 2 things. Okay, the sense has to come in the people who has the knowledge, because what you know is always limited. First thing, you need to understand that one. And another thing is, for example, like there is a huge gap from like when all these Dasmadhya Vidya temples were consecrated, and the time like when we are now. Okay, because of this gap, Sadhguru has become very, very significant. Okay, most of the people might think like why there are not too many Dhyanalingas, because Shiva was there, Agastya Muni was there, Sapta Rishis were there, and many beings were there. But at the time, why? Because there are too many enlightened beings and many gurus were there. When the guru is there, Dhyanalinga is not needed. Okay, because there is certain kind of limitation when it comes to the energy space. For example, like for the Dhyanalinga to understand, you need to have the thirst already. Otherwise, like it cannot pull you there. Okay, but the guru like Sadhguru or the Gautama the Buddha, very few of them will try to come and then like come between the people. So one thing is like we do not know like how it is in consecrated many things. Many text has been lost in the middle. And another thing, like it's not necessary everything has to be in the textbook. Okay, it's only because like we studied everything in the college and the school, we become so dumb, stupid, and numb to everything. Okay, this is the stupid way of looking at it, that everything has to come in the book. If you have a capability, you can create new things, isn't it? For example, like mobile phones were not in the scripture. Okay, mobile phone, TVs, everything were not in the scripture. Okay, submarines were not in the scripture. Nothing was in the scripture. But now they are there. Similar to that one, Linga Bhairavi, Sadhguru has consecrated in the Linga form because of practical reason and the capability. A person or yogi like Sadhguru does not come in many, many, many eons, okay? And he has the capability to consecrate that, first thing. And another thing is, if you create a linga, for example, like whatever you are seeing going to certain kind of temple and the deity with 5 hands and like sitting on the lion, that is not actually the deity. That is actually the facade only, like just to help the people to connect with the devotion. The yantra is underneath or behind the deity, okay? So the yantra is completely different thing. The deity, the yantra does not have any shape at all. But the limitation of that one is it needs certain kind of kumbha abhishekam or certain kind of like a consecration or certain kind of sacrifice has to be done in the regular basis. For example, like when Sadhguru consecrated the Linga Bhairavi, because the form of the linga is the most perfect shape because it can radiate in every direction equally. For example, like if you create, let's say like I have a yantra like a square, like this rectangle, I will not be able to throw the energies in these corners, okay, very perfectly. But if you have a yantra, like if you have a shape like the spherical or something, one thing is like it's very much like friction free, one thing, and another thing is like it's being used with the mercury. Just like Sadhguru says that like in many 800 years or something, I forgot the number, but that many years, like this is the first time a deity, Devi temple has been consecrated with the mercury. Okay, so now like we are complaining with the better version. Okay, you are using like an iPhone, let's say like a 14, 15, whatever. Now you are complaining like the iPhone 21 you got, and then you are saying, okay, iPhone 21 was not there. Okay, this is just like Sadhguru says that like many people are complaining over the sadhana is because like you don't have a sense that you are complaining about your own well-being. Okay, so we need to have some sense in this. Okay, only like 2 more minutes. Okay, I cannot handle this too much. Yeah, invoking basically means like you are calling the energy of the deity. Okay, if you don't have enough experience, like you need to explore more. Do a lot of sadhana and everything. Like that's how you get it. Okay, just by sitting in the Instagram, and if you just follow my Instagram, you are limiting yourself. Okay, you are limiting 100%. You might be getting some exclusive information. That is completely fine. But the real deal is the sadhana. Get sadhana, get involved in the volunteering activities with Isha, and you will be able to, your experience will really reach, and you will know like a different aspects, okay? If you read in the Instagram, you will only get information. Okay, Anna Namaskaram, why she has no legs, okay? The deity does not have any legs, okay? So again, just like I said, like it's just the structure so that people can, when we're talking about the Shiva or Shakti, we're talking actually about the different kind of dimensions, okay? Again, like I'm not going to talk about like whether it has hands, legs, or any form or something, because it is going to create hallucination to lot of you. Okay, lot of you, nearly 100% of you. Like I'm not going to do that injustice to all of you. Okay, please, like about the back facing or the front facing, please speak with the Ishangas or Brahmacharis or like the Devi Upasakas or in the temple. Okay, not me, because I'm not the Shanga, or I'm not representing the temple. I'm just a fellow seeker, just like you. Why suffer more after doing my sadhana? Okay, this is out of the question. I cannot answer that. You can search in the Isha website. Sadhguru has answered too many times. Okay, you guys need to learn how to do research on your own also if you want to become a seeker. If you just wait in the internet, I'll tell you, nearly 100% of the information in the Instagram are all useless actually. Okay, it is going to mislead you. It is going to damage your life. Okay. How does the form of the Linga or Linga Bhairavi makes it different? Okay, this is the same answer I have already answered. Okay, because you are still living in the older generation. Okay, already 5G has come. Okay, if you look into the 1G and then say, okay, you can only send the text or the call, you can do, and then that's what it is. Yeah, it's the capability, just like I said, with evolution. Okay, don't go to Anna, don't try to talk with the Devi, don't try to hallucinate, you'll go crazy. Okay, 100% go crazy. Just focus on the sadhana. Just like I told you, don't try to replicate with anyone. Okay, whether it is a Shiva or something. Is it necessary for meditators to visit Linga Bhairavi temple? If it was not mandatory, why Sadhguru would create the temple, isn't it? Why people would go for a Bhairavi culmination? What do you think? Yantra is expensive, cannot afford it. Okay, health is expensive, healthcare is expensive, medicine is expensive, education is expensive, taking care of children is expensive, everything is expensive. Only thing you need to understand is, do you need it or not? That clarity has to come. If you think it is expensive, then you should not get it. Okay, only if you want Devi in your life, you should get it, not about the money, because you are not getting the point. It takes 4 months. Sadhguru takes 4 months to consecrate a yantra. Okay, so is Linga Bhairavi Devi in Nepal and Coimbatore? Okay, already answered that question. Can they be present in all? Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, it's the energy one. Energy can be everywhere. Can they lead to mukti? Yes. Again, like I said, you should be willing and you need to do your part. Okay. For example, I give you the water and you don't drink it, then it's no good. Okay, I cannot answer all the questions. Now, we'll go till 10, 11. Okay, 5 minutes we'll go. Why you should not promote Bhakti Yoga that much? Yeah, there's a Bhakti Yoga is already promoting, isn't it? But there's a misunderstanding what is a Bhakti Yoga. There's a Bhakti Yoga only. All the brahmacharis and mas, everybody you see in the ashram, whoever is doing the full-time volunteering in the ashram, they're all devotees. Okay, they're all doing Bhakti Yogas only. You see, they're doing the volunteering, but they are actually the devotees. Okay, because if you go as a volunteering, you will run away crying after a while. Only the devotees can sustain that much. Only the Bhakti Yoga that is interpreted in the scriptures is completely wrong. Okay, I'll tell you that much. There are no other bhakti is there. There's a 9 way to cultivate your bhakti. That is one aspect of it. But the real bhakti is completely different. Okay. There's a Navada bhakti is also there. If you know, there are 9 ways of cultivating a bhakti, but the real bhakti is completely different. Usually linga form we see in Shiva, but yeah, okay, I've already answered that one. Okay, why is the tree inside the Linga Bhairavi temple in the Coimbatore? We have a daha. Okay, that you need to ask Sadhguru, not me. Okay, I don't know about these kind of things. See, the best thing is even in the last session also, everybody was asking about the Kala Bhairava. Okay, it's just you are going to consider the Kala Bhairava. Okay, whatever it is, either you have to ask the architect, which is the Sadhguru himself of the entire energy system, or you just need to keep quiet. Okay, because what you are going to do with all this information anyway? If you go and do volunteering over there, you will know everything, of course. You can ask everybody who is committing their life to make these temples alive, keep their temples alive. Okay, is Linga Bhairavi yantra more powerful than Devi Gudi? Okay, again, just like I mentioned earlier, there is no such thing as a more powerful or a less powerful or something like that. Devi Gudi is a miniature version of a temple, and Devi Gudi is actually designed for devotion. Okay, while the Linga Bhairavi yantra is basically designed according to your genetics of your entire family. Okay, so that it will become like your Kula Devi. And then it is going to be just like the tailored made. Okay, for example, if you go to the shop and buy a shirt or something, it may fit you or it may not fit you. Okay, it may fit you maybe in the shoulders, it may not fit in your let's say the belly side or something. But a Linga Bhairavi, Sadhguru is going to ensure that is going to consecrate in such a way that it is going to be designed according to your family. Okay, so don't think about all these kind of things and everything, which is powerful, which is not powerful or something. Just like I mentioned earlier, if you make use of something, it becomes powerful. If you don't make use of it, even if you have a rocket or something, what you are going to do, isn't it? Nothing. Yeah, see, I have resonated. I am 40 years old. I travel all across the India. In more than 800 energy spaces. Okay, I covered almost all the places within 18 months, and not only 18 months. You can say 18 months, but even in that 18 months, most of the time, there was rainfall, summer, winter was there. So I didn't travel much also, and I'm still here. I did 4 or 5 days, residential volunteering. Before that, we did inner ranging volunteering, and I'm here speaking with you it's nearly more than 2 hours. So. Yeah. Okay, there's a one question can Devi help you get over lust? Anything can get you over lust if you become conscious. Okay, if you are unconscious, then not only lust, everything is going to take control over you. It's the awareness and consciousness. Okay, I think we are going to reading. Okay, I'll take a last 5 questions. Okay. Just becoming a little bit generous because of the Devi. Will the temples that the Sadhguru consecrated as they are now, even if there is no form of... Okay, if you want to taste how Sadhguru has consecrated, you just please commit yourself to the sadhana and go till a samyama, and then you please go to the temples and then you will know by itself, okay? Because you don't need to believe me what I'm saying. Does Devi knows about us? Yes, Devi knows about everybody, and not only that, the Linga Bhairavi yantra actually knows who is part of the family and who is not also. Bhakti devotion or sadhana, which is faster way to attain, completely depends upon an individual. Okay, it's not bhakti is better or this is better. It depends upon what you can take. Okay, some people are naturally inclusive and they need people around them. For them, karma yoga is better. Okay, so it's up to you what fit's going to do. So you just go through all the sadhana and then that is going to. Is it okay? I'm not going to answer any other questions. Okay. Yeah, one of the question about the locked space, you joined late. If you joined late, you missed a lot of chunk, okay? So that is going to happen. So how to connect to a Devi without a yantra? Take the picture of a Devi. Even a Sadhguru app also has, even the Isha chants also has got Devi Stuti, and then the Achala Arpanam is also there in YouTube. Please make use of it. But yeah, so if you have done enough sadhana, then you don't need yantra, just like I told earlier. Okay, otherwise Sadhguru would have asked everybody to use the yantra, isn't it? Why you would give the sadhana? Sadhana is the primary thing. Okay. So I don't feel devotion. That basically means you just please go through a Bhairavi sadhana. Okay, go through the sadhana. You don't do anything and then you say I don't feel devotion. That is not going to work, isn't it? If you feel that okay, I'm not feeling hungry, that basically means you have to stop eating, okay? If you keep on eating and then you say I'm not feeling hungry, that's not going to work. Does she provide guidance towards our life? Sadhguru says that like she does far more than that. Okay, last two questions. Okay. Okay, how can I reverse damaging process before? Okay, I think like you are asking too many questions and irrelevant and everything. I think like Anna, like you need to get into like inner engineering and like take one step at a time. Okay, if you have too many questions, that basically means like you will get the answer, but like it will be all over the place. Okay, it's better like yeah. And I request you to keep this live recorded. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Like it will be there. Okay, will this video be available on YouTube? Yes, I'll see. We'll see. Okay, how it goes. Because I don't use my desire when it comes to this kind of thing. So. Yeah, you will still need a yantra, like if you feel to. Like a Punya Puja is very powerful, like it purifies the space and it will protect your space from like, unnecessary energies and everything. So yeah, that's really, really beautiful akka, but you need to speak with the ashram team and see like whether you need it or not. Okay. I think like we have reached to the end of the questions. Okay. Okay, yeah, anybody like who is having like a certain kind of problems with their life or something like that, you just please go through the inner engineering process again, okay? Inner engineering class, like go through it again and again, like 2-3 times. Just follow the instructions and it is going to work. Okay, please share a simple Devi mantra. Like I don't know any mantras, like I'm not a guru to initiate anybody into the mantra or something. Like I will not do certain kind of reckless thing. You just go and search for like a Devi Stuti. Linga Bhairavi Devi Stuti is there, which is very safe to chant. Sadhguru also encourages people to do it. And there's another YouTube video regarding the Achala Arpanam. And please watch that video and then like follow the instructions, okay? Don't try to do like whatever you like. If I did not visit Devi temple due to some circumstance, does it affect us? Nothing is going to affect you. You are just going to lose the advantage of that one. That's it, isn't it? It's just like, if you go out in the sun, you will get vitamin D. If you don't go out, you will not get the vitamin D. That's it. Again, like there are other aspects also, but I find like not necessary to share here, because last time I shared similar kind of thing in the Instagram, and then a lot of people had got their own like understanding. Okay, I wouldn't say understanding, misunderstanding, and I had to delete that post. I would ensure that like I would not post like a similar kind of things. Although it's very, very important that people should know, but I think if you are just waiting on the Instagram, like not doing sadhana, not traveling, like not striving, then I would say like you are not worth it to have that information. That's it. Okay, bottom line. Okay, Sadhguru says, okay, that's the other questions like this. We are not handling like other questions. Whatever the process is there, like do everything. Okay, okay, thank you very much. I think this is the end. Okay, this is the end of the session. Like we have actually went overboard because of the grace of the Linga Bhairavi Devi. Only because of that, like all of you have joined, and then I had the privilege of sharing this information in the eve of Linga Bhairavi Consecration anniversary. It will be available on the YouTube also. Like the link is there. You please, if you are able to make it, like please visit the temple in Kathmandu. So last time in the Mahashivratri, like I heard that there were 3,500 people, okay, enjoying like celebrating in the basking the glory of the Shiva. Now we are coming into the basking in the glory of the Shakti. Okay, it's in the Phagu Purnima as well as in which Holi is celebrated, and it's the divine feminine. So Jai Linga Bhairavi Devi. Namaskaram everyone.